The Wells Fargo Center buzzed with anticipation last night. The city of Philadelphia was alive, its heartbeat echoing through the arena as fans poured in, eager for a night that promised drama and intensity. The air was thick with excitement, and every seat was filled with hopeful faces, all waiting for the opening tip. This wasn't just another game, it was a clash of NBA titans, a matchup that had been circled on calendars for weeks. The energy in the building was palpable, as if everyone knew they were about to witness something unforgettable. The Philadelphia 76ers, surging in the East and riding a wave of momentum, hosted the star-studded Los Angeles Clippers from the West. Both teams had been making headlines, and tonight, their paths collided on one of the league's biggest stages. Both teams eyed the championship, and fans sensed this could be a finals preview. The stakes felt higher than ever, with every possession carrying the weight of playoff implications. Joel Embiid led the Sixers' charge, pushing for the top playoff seed and home court advantage. His presence on the court was commanding, and his leadership inspired his teammates to rise to the occasion. Their recent hot streak and the unwavering support of their home crowd gave them confidence. The Sixers had been nearly unstoppable at home, and the fans believed tonight would be no different. The Clippers, with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, brought championship pedigree and a reputation for tough defense. Their roster was stacked with talent, and their experience in big games made them a formidable opponent. They wanted to make a statement on the road, to show the league they could silence even the loudest crowds and win in hostile territory. Every player on the Clippers bench was locked in, ready for the challenge ahead. This was a test for both squads, the Sixers proving they could beat elite Western teams, the Clippers showing their road strength. Every loose ball, every rebound, every defensive stop would matter in a game of this magnitude. Coaches Nick Nurse and Tyronn Lue prepared for a chess match. Every possession mattered, every shot counted. Their strategies would be put to the test, as both looked for any edge to outwit the other. The stakes were high, and the atmosphere was electric. The scoreboard glowed with promise, and the crowd's roar seemed to shake the rafters. The stage was set for a night of high-stakes NBA action. The players stood shoulder to shoulder, united in focus as the national anthem played, knowing what was at stake. Two contenders, one court, and a game that could shape the season. The outcome tonight could shift the balance of power in the league and send a message to every other team. The crowd knew they were in for something special. Every cheer, every gasp, every chant added to the sense that history could be made. Let's dive into how it all unfolded, and relive a night where every moment mattered and every play told a story. The final buzzer sounded, signaling the end of a hard-fought contest that kept fans on the edge of their seats until the very last second. The arena erupted as the Philly crowd celebrated, their cheers echoing through the building in a wave of excitement and relief. The 76ers managed to edge out the Clippers, 115-109, in a game that was a true test of grit and determination from both teams. In the closing moments, the Sixers' late-game execution stood out. Clutch free throws under immense pressure and critical defensive stops made all the difference, showing their ability to perform when it matters most. With this victory, Philadelphia improved their record to 35-15, keeping them firmly in the hunt for the Eastern Conference's top seed and sending a message to the rest of the league. Every win against a top-tier opponent like the Clippers is crucial, especially as the playoff race intensifies and every game takes on added significance in the standings. For Los Angeles, the loss dropped them to 33-18. While they remain in the top four in the Western Conference, the margin for error is shrinking as the competition tightens. The Western Conference is a battleground, with elite teams like Denver, Oklahoma City, and Minnesota all jockeying for position. Every slip-up can have major consequences as teams fight for playoff seeding. The Sixers' focus and poise in crunch time were on full display, highlighting their championship aspirations and their ability to handle high-pressure situations. This game could have ripple effects that extend far beyond tonight, especially if these two teams cross paths again in the NBA Finals, where every previous matchup can influence the outcome. The head-to-head tiebreaker between these teams might become a deciding factor down the line, potentially impacting playoff seeding or even home court advantage. For now, Philadelphia celebrates a statement win, one that energizes the fan base and boosts the team's confidence as the postseason approaches. Meanwhile, the Clippers regroup, fully aware that the race in the West is unforgiving and the margin for error is razor-thin as they look to bounce back. In the NBA, every single game can shift the entire playoff picture. Tonight's battle was a perfect example of how one result can send shockwaves through both conferences, setting the stage for an even more dramatic finish to the season. Joel Embiid was the story of the night. He dominated from the opening tip, overwhelming the Clippers in the paint. Embiid's stat line: 41 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, efficient, relentless, and clutch. In the fourth quarter, he demanded the ball and delivered, leading the Sixers to victory. The Clippers tried double teams and different defenders, but nothing worked for long. Embiid's mix of power and skill was simply too much. He read the defense, scored at will, and found open teammates when needed. This was a masterclass in modern center play. Performances like this fuel his MVP campaign and give the Sixers confidence in big moments. As long as Embiid plays at this level, Philly is a threat to anyone. The Clippers had no answer for his dominance. Embiid's leadership and presence changed the game. The Sixers' hopes ride on nights like this. Embiid had help. Tyresemaxey shined as the perfect backcourt partner. Maxey's speed and shot-making kept the Clippers' defense off balance, finishing with 26 points and 7 assists. His energy and clutch plays in the second half were crucial. The Embiid-Maxey duo is a nightmare for defenses. For the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard led with 28 points, hitting tough shots and keeping LA close. Paul George added 22 points, but Philly's defense tightened in the second half. Leonard and George played well, but it wasn't enough to overcome Embiid and Maxey's heroics. The Sixers' supporting cast stepped up when it mattered. The Clippers' stars couldn't quite close the gap. Before tip-off, betting markets buzzed with anticipation. The Sixers were slight favorites with a 3.5-point spread. Moneyline odds favored Philly at 160, while the Clippers were 140 underdogs. The over-under was set at 228.5 points, reflecting expectations of a high-scoring game. Odds makers weighed team records, recent form, and home court advantage. The tight spread showed experts expected a close contest. Bettors analyzed stats, injuries, and past matchups to find an edge. The lines suggested a competitive, offense-driven battle. For fans and bettors, every point and possession would matter. The stage was set not just for basketball, but for high-stakes wagers. The numbers told their own story before the game even began. In today's sports betting world, computer models are key. Models like Sportsline simulate games thousands of times using massive datasets. They factor in player stats, team tendencies, and even matchups down to the defender. The process: feed in data, simulate the game, and analyze the outcomes. For this matchup, the model ran 10,000 simulations, accounting for every possible scenario. It calculates win probabilities, likely margins, and the odds of beating the spread. These models don't just guess. They use data to find betting value. By simulating every possession, they account for randomness and luck. The result: data-driven predictions on who will win, cover the spread, and hit the over or under. Bettors use these insights to make smarter wagers. In a world of uncertainty, models offer a statistical edge. The Sportsline model is one of the most trusted in the game. Let's see what it predicted for this showdown. The Sportsline projection model has a strong track record. For this game, it ran its simulations and made 2 clear picks. The model favored the Sixers to win and cover the 3.5-point spread. In nearly 60% of scenarios, Philly won by 4 or more points. The model saw value in the Sixers' home court edge and Embiid's dominance. On the total, the model leaned under 228.5 points, projecting a combined score below the line. Its average simulation: Sixers 114, Clippers 108. The model's data-driven approach gave bettors a clear guide: Sixers to cover, and the under. With its history of success, many followed its advice. The question: would the game play out as the model predicted? Let's check the results. The final score, Sixers 115, Clippers 109, validated the model's picks. Philly covered the 3.5 spread, rewarding those who backed them. Moneyline bettors on the Sixers also cashed in. The total points reached 224, staying under the 228.5 line. Both of the model's main predictions hit: Sixers minus the points and the under. The model's data-driven edge paid off for bettors. The game was high-scoring, but not as much as the market expected. Defense in the final quarter kept the total down. This outcome shows how analytics can spot value in betting lines. While no model is perfect, this was a textbook win for Sportsline. Sometimes the numbers really do tell the story. The Sixers look to build on this momentum as they host the Orlando Magic next. With the regular season winding down, every matchup carries extra weight, and Philadelphia knows they can't afford to slip up at home. They can't afford to overlook a young, hungry opponent. The Magic have shown flashes of brilliance this season, and their energetic defense could pose problems if the Sixers aren't locked in from the opening tip. Embiid's health and form remain the key to their top seed ambitions. When he's at his best, the Sixers are a force on both ends of the floor, but any lingering issues could derail their playoff push. The Clippers, meanwhile, head to Boston for another tough test. Facing the Celtics on their home floor is never easy, especially with playoff seeding on the line. Kawhi and George must bounce back quickly to keep their East Coast trip on track. Their leadership and ability to deliver in clutch moments will be crucial if the Clippers want to make a statement. For bettors, Philly's home dominance and Embiid's MVP play are trends to watch. The Sixers have been nearly unbeatable at home, and Embiid's performances often set the tone for the entire team. The Sixers' offense is potent, and their defense steps up in big moments. Their ability to turn defense into fast break points makes them dangerous against any opponent. The Clippers' struggle against elite centers is a potential weakness. If they can't contain dominant big men, it could haunt them in the postseason, especially against teams like the Sixers. Still, LA remains a contender with two elite two-way stars. Their experience and versatility give them a fighting chance in any matchup, no matter the adversity. Their response in Boston will reveal their resilience. How they handle adversity on the road could define their season's trajectory. Both teams are in the thick of the playoff race. Every win or loss now has ripple effects on their seeding and potential matchups. Every game from here on out shapes their post-season destiny. Coaches will be making adjustments, and players will need to rise to the occasion under pressure. The NBA season is a marathon, and the next chapter is just beginning. With so much at stake, expect intensity to ramp up as teams jockey for position. Stay tuned for more drama on the hardwood, as the race to the playoffs promises plenty of twists and unforgettable moments.